like to experiment with my little healing theories, see if they work. But maybe I'll do an experiment on you. Maybe I'll do an experiment. Yeah, you might get experimented on. So there you go. Anyway, so where are the sign-up sheets?
Outside.
Outside. Okay, so if you want to sign up for a reading, or if you want to, yeah, if you want to sign up for a reading, or if you want to look at the house listing stuff, you can mill around, move around, so you don't have to just sit here and listen to me talk. But it's nice outside. There's a bagel place over there in case you're hungry. But I'm going to let you know that the lady that runs it. Awesome officials, awesome employees, owner not so much. Somebody here at the lunch Seinfeld, and you know the two The food is awesome, and I highly recommend the food. And they have a bunch of young kids that work there, and they are lovely, lovely. But she's not. So, but I would highly recommend if you are hungry and want a bagel to get a bagel from there. But just know that you may have an bracelet. So, if she's there, she might not. I know. So, okay. So the workshop, if you want, she's not. No, she does not. No, she does not. Don't ask. For any of you guys who know, like I went through like weight loss surgery, so like I like lost a bunch of weight and stuff. And during 2020 or 2021 or 2020, whenever, I would like want to get food, but I couldn't eat any bread. So I would go over there because that was the only place open, and or send my son and get like egg, cheese, and sausage just plain in a bowl. That made her so mad that I wasn't getting a bagel, that I was getting something different. And so that's what, so I have a little chip on me. So that workshop, if you are interested in it, it is February when it's happening. So just so you know that, and actually maybe I should just mention this in case any of you guys have to go. So like after or while I'm talking about other things, I have me and a couple of friends of mine, me and my lady friends, we call ourselves the Easy Bake Coven. And she's one of us. And so is Stephanie. But two of my friends, Sarah Martucci and Jen Welty, and I will be teaching the tarot class like right at the beginning of next year. We're just kind of working out the dates for it. But if any of you guys want to learn tarot, that will be on the website. If you're on the newsletter, you'll get a copy of it. If you're not on the newsletter, I think somewhere there's a sign-up sheet to be on it. So that's in that will be like January through February. It's like a bunch of short nighttime classes, most likely, is how we'll do it on Zoom. You can come here, of course. Like, I don't mind teaching people in person, but Sarah will be Zoom, and I think Jen will be Zoom too. So it might just end up being a Zoom class. So for tarot. And then for any of you guys who want to, like Charles, who will be here later at like 12:45, I think, or 12:30, he'll talk about like his psychic development group. He has a meetup group that does that. I've decided to start teaching again because it's been a minute. Like I do the Making Your Own Connection class, but I've been doing that online. I haven't really done a lot of in-person classes and stuff, but I'm gonna do it now because I was just like, I was teaching so much back in the day, and when you teach a lot, you don't learn as much. So like the last 7 years, I've just like been readings, thousands of readings, and so that way I can learn more. So that if I'm going to teach, like more than what I knew from other teachers and stuff like that. So now this is all kind of like my experience with it. So if any of you guys are interested, this is what I'll be doing, and there'll be like an application. It's really everybody's approved, okay? So I just want you to know it's not that you're not approved. I'm just doing it to kind of see where people are at on their journey. But I'm going to offer. I used to offer this class called Psychic and Self-Development, and in that class, it was all about like building your spidey senses and also healing your own shit. So it's like a combination because I kind of am of the belief that if you are doing psychic work or whatever, you constantly have to work on yourself so that your filters of information aren't like filled with your own shit. So it's like clearing that away and then also learning how to connect with your intuition and your psychic abilities, but also there's a mediumship level to it as well. So what I'm offering is that I'll be offering groups again, but the groups you have to have had a class or something with somebody so that you know how to make the connection. And so what it will be is that there'll be classes. So there'll be different classes. If you want to do the psychic and self-development classes as a group, it'll be a hybrid. So you can come here or do it online, wherever. So there'll be classes. And then in addition to that, it will be like a pricing tier. That way everybody can afford whatever they can afford. So the classes will be online and in person about how to do this kind of stuff and everything. It's not just one class, it will be 10. So it will be 10 sessions. So, or wait, nine sessions, sorry. So it'll be 9 sessions, 9 different classes. And then in addition to that, there'll be a monthly support group of a psychic development and a mediumship development. So in the morning we'll be psychic, in the afternoon we'll be mediumship. That will be another layer that you can add on to it. And then I'll also be adding on private mentoring as well. And that's for psychic and mediumship stuff. So it's both of those. So you get one-on-one interaction on one level and then so on and so forth. But there will be kind of like a questionnaire that will have all the dates and all the prices and on it. I'll mention this again later, but you took that class, right? Yes, Erin, I took that class. Michael's 20. I know. What the hell happened? I used to call him Mr. Baby. Like that's where I was at with him, and now he's like 20. Now it's stress. Oh, I've known you a minute. Yeah. So we met at the Andina Festival when they used to have that. So the class is a very like I really used to like to teach that class, but I just felt like I needed to learn more. So now I feel like I'm learning more. So I just have a lot to share in that way. So it'll be kind of layered. You can do whatever you want or however much kind of fits into your schedule. I do when I teach mediumship, there's lots of teachers out there. So if you guys are ever interested in learning that stuff, and there's like all kinds of people out there that do this, I do it my way through my experience. So I'll teach from what I've learned, not necessarily in agreement with the rest of the world that does this. Like I don't believe in spirit guides, I don't believe in ghosts and all that shit. I believe in energy, and I believe that we are our own guides in this. Our souls are our guides. So in the class, that's what it's about, kind of learning about purpose and finding what you're passionate about. Those are also things that you find at the retreat as well. That retreat that I'm doing. So, okay. So that's coming up, and then that class, and then the tarot. So the tarot with the ladies, the Easy Big Coven ladies, and then my mentorship program that will go through the end of the year. So we'll start in March, and it will go around what are we? November, like right before Thanksgiving when it will end. So the classes are kind of spread out, and when I do that, I also teach ethics around psychic and mediumship stuff as well, because I think that's so important. Especially if any of you guys have ever gotten a reading from a psychic that says some crazy shit to you, because people come to me and they're like, this person said this to me, and I'm like, what a bunch of crap. Like, why would you say something that would scare the crap out of someone? Like, because you don't need to, or I'm very sensitive about those things. So as clients of mine, I just want you to know I'm very protective of you guys. I'm not going to recommend you to anyone that I don't think is awesome. And if you ever want recommendations, they're on my website. So I have a few people on there that if you ever want to get readings in on 2 books, there's a few people on there that I really trust. So I just want to know that. Okay, so, I'm supposed to start in 4 minutes. I talked your ears off. Let's start in 10 minutes. And how about if you guys want to sign up for anything or look in there, you do that. And then come back in here and try to scrunch together in the seat so everybody has a little spot. But 10 minutes, and then I'll be back. I've been meaning to mail that, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or Mr. Spot. It's like I don't Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. It's good to know. There you go. Yeah. I mean, never. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'll But yeah, I'll make you that's I think that's where you right? Yeah, please do. You know, I'm on your email. Better, I don't. Yeah. And then that the first one. I don't even look at the business one. I'm good. How are you doing? That was fun. You have a cool job. It might not be the best time for that job, but you have a cool job. Oh, absolutely. You might guess. You know, yeah. So whatever way you away. If you want, because I'm already bringing something with me. If you want to come with us, so, yeah. So yeah, once we get it set up, that's yes, we'll probably like on Sundays. That usually works best. Inundated with one of those. So, yeah. It's always surprising to know that that all these people come to see me. You know, I'm just like a bunch of. I know. I'm like, oh, I've got a few things. So that's good. What are we supposed to do? I'm supposed to. What's the my brain is empty. It's empty. It emptied itself out while I was talking. I just want to tell you how I don't and I love it. I didn't see. Oh, I just love it. Yeah. That's what it is. And now the dress about this. I got this here. Oh, so you put that. Oh, yeah, yeah. I put that. And then the sheets are from there too. And this is from there. Yes. I'm just trying. So, yeah. Love it. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see you as well. Thank you for coming. You guys, if I haven't mentioned it yet, thank you for coming. I think I did, but I'm mentioning it again. So. My Sharona.
Hello, my Kim.
Oh, hello, Janice. I remembered your name. I feel so proud of myself right now. Hello. Good to see you. My Sharona. Denise.
Hi, my Denise. Nice to meet you. We all belong to each other.
Yes, we all do. Yes, this is the youngest.
No, I'm actually just a stray.
Oh, you
Like,
are?
Yeah,
I
I
actually
collect
just,
stray people.
Similarities, though.
no, I actually came out of the ground. Yeah.
But whatever.
I just called it.
Yes. Oh,
big
thank you for
hole.
reminding me what I was looking for. Just being there, I was going to get name tags for you guys.
Oh, okay. I was asking you.
Yes. Where was this? Yeah, the front table. Oh.
Do you mind if I just read them real quick? It's pretty much what's on the screen, right?
I'll just take a picture of you and take it.
Or I can just take a picture of it and you can keep it.
Okay. It's all good.
Duh.
Sorry.
Sometimes I forget about
I know, it is a nice, I call this like kind of the pocket knife of survival. You got everything you need on here.
Sometimes it's super like,
Yeah, that's true. Every tool can be a problem. Oh, oh. Oh my gosh.
it's good.
Yeah, it's a testament to how awesome she is.
It really is.
You're welcome.
Oh, shit. Should we put them on the charger? Can you see if Stephanie has the cord for this so we can charge it? If she has one. All right, you guys. I am gonna talk to some loved ones. So this is a little like a demonstration of mediumship for you guys. Just to kind of see how this works. If any of you have never been in a group, I recognize like a lot of faces. Like there's a lot of people here that I'm like, oh, they've been to me for reading. I know them. I know that. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of your details, but I remember your faces. So there's that. But how many of you guys seen me demonstrate the group before? Hands up. A few of you. Okay. So let me just tell you how this works. I will basically like tune into people's loved ones as I'm doing this. So I'll tune into people's loved ones and she's filming me doing it. And so I'll tune into your loved ones, just whoever kind of comes through. There's a lot of loved ones here, so if yours doesn't come through, please don't take it personally. They're all like kind of clogging my head at the moment. Yeah, this is how I talk when they start to come. So anyway, let me try to focus here. So you don't have to tell me very much as we do this. I'll say something about a loved one, and then I'll say like, oh, I feel like I'm over here. I feel like I'm over here. Generally, I can feel like what area that I'm in with this. And this is kind of the thing that me and Anthony do as well that I was talking about, where the tickets are available. He gets up and he goes for an hour, and then I go for an hour. And it's only the amount of chairs in this room, not the extra chairs that have the purple chairs is the size of the audience for that. So keep it nice and small. But I'm going to talk about somebody's loved ones, and there are a few of them here. And then I will, stop bothering me. Some people have dead people that are already talking to me in that direction. So anyway, so just don't tell me too much. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You're not embarrassing me or hurting my feelings in any way. Sometimes I need to go in and reinterpret the information that I'm getting. So I will do that. So you don't have to like say yes to everything I'm saying. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. I only get better at it by you kind of telling me like, hey, that's not right. So don't worry, I don't care. So I've been doing it 20 years, so I can get up in front of this many people and be wrong and be cool with it. So anyway, so just try not to tell me too much as we go, and I'm gonna do this for a half hour, and then you guys will get to take a little break or whatever the schedule is, whatever I did with the schedule. And so the clock is missing. What happened to the clock?
There's a clock right there. No.
There used to be a clock back there up until a minute ago. Maybe a couple minutes ago.
Do you want me to time anything or no?
I'm coming back. Okay, so I have my watch. I found it. Okay, so I'm just going to start. If you guys are cool with that, if I've read you before, there should be new information from your loved one. I know I've read a lot of people. I hope. Who I read again? A ton of you. Okay, so if you have had a reading from me, even though hi Jan, if you have a reading from me, wait, are you going to do readings? Did they set you up with a table and stuff? Oh, you have one out there. That's Jan. She does reading. And I think Terrence here, who's like one of my best friend's daughters, who I've known since she was like 8 months old, is also here. I think she's 1 now. So anyway, so let me just kind of focus here. I feel like I have a man here in the spirit world who's, for some reason, I think he's like a big coffee drinker, coffee or tea or something. So I feel like somebody has like a mug connected to this man. He does tell me though he was ill before he passed. I feel like he had like something with his liver. He might have had liver failure or something with his liver when I'm tuning into this. And I kind of get the feeling that it's like he's always drinking something. So I think that's kind of a weird thing. I think he might have been an alcoholic. I think that might be what I'm getting here, because I'm like, wait a minute, is that a cup of coffee or what? And then he says his liver it feels like somebody's father who might have been a drinker when he was alive. But I don't know that he was a drinker at the end, but I feel like he was a drinker when he was alive, like at some point he might have kind of cleared that up. But I keep getting like it's liver failure. And that's really specific. And this feels like somebody's like dad, I think. So it's a dad or like someone that raised someone, but there'd also be like some kind of issues connected to him with your relationship with him. So I feel like it's like somebody's father who might have been a drinker during part of his life, died of some kind of liver failure. And I feel like I'm like right in the over here. You got a hand up? Anybody else over here? You feel like, how much of the information can you take? Does it all make sense to you? The liver part, not so much, but all the rest. Okay. This is, what about organ failure?
Yeah,
Okay, it's not the liver though?
the heart.
So he had heart failure, but have I read you before?
Yeah.
Have I talked to this dude before?
I believe so, yes.
Wait a minute. Okay. What about back there? Anybody in that back section? Just want to see. Anyone who has a dad in the spirit world who was a drinker and had like failed? You? I keep seeing you put your hand up. Is it your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he have liver failure? Or is it like organ failure? Okay, but it's not the heart, right? It's something different. Okay. And did you have like a tenuous relationship with him? Like, was it, and then he kind of cleaned his act up later or changed things later? Does that resonate with you? Okay, I think I might be with her. Because I've never talked to him for you, right? You did. Oh, I did. No. This guy feels new. Have I ever read you?
No, but I thought it was.
Okay. I might be with you. Have I ever read you? No. Okay. I think I'm with you because this guy doesn't know me. Your people know me. Like, I can feel that energy of like, no, we know you, but not here. Wait a minute. So for you, my dear, I feel like you also have a grandmother in the spirit world as well on your mom's side. Is that true? And I feel like you might have been close to her. And I do feel like she had illness before she died as well. And she feels like a mother figure to you, and I feel like she's coming through to kind of like give you a hug. Is that all true? Okay. And so I feel like though your dad's here, it doesn't matter how long it's been. I don't actually, for any of you guys who don't know this, I don't think time exists. I don't know how it works, but I know it's not like this. It's just here that it is because we're simple and we need it. So it doesn't matter how long it's been since your dad's died. He's here. He says he's a guardian for you, so he's like a guardian of children. So's your grandma, and your grandma. I like her energy because she just says what she thinks or does whatever the hell she wants, and I think that's the kind of person she was. She did have health issues before she passed. But your mom's still alive, right? No, she's in spirit. Okay, then. So then I think I have your mom's mom here, and then I'm supposed to talk about your mom, so obviously your mom's gone as well. And so, hold on, I'm thirsty because I talk so much. That's why I can't be a therapist. I could if I wanted to. I went to school for that, but I talk too much. So I have to be on the other side of it. So I feel like your grandma. So she's got like this funky kind of nature about her when she comes through here, and she has like tons of energy as she's connecting. So I feel like she's like a little energizer bunny when I see her. And so I see your grandma, I see your dad who's gone for a long time. And what is your mom's first name? Because you have another grandma over there too. But what is your mother's first name? Barbara. And oh. Wait a minute. She was also ill before she passed. Is that true? It was sudden, but did she have like some kind of health issue? It's like she had like stuff wrong with her, what she's saying. But it's interesting that your mom and your grandma are together because they're not really similar. It's like, does that make sense to you? Like your mom has a whole different vibe than your grandma. And I know that that's her mom, but she's got different feelings here. And I actually feel like you look like your mom. So that's kind of what I see when I see you. I see your mom's face. But I feel like you really need them right now because you're going through some shit. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not gonna talk about it, like, but you're going through some shit. And so it's like your mom, your dad, your grandma, and it's not just them. You've got a bunch of other people over there, and then you have a man here who's also close to your age, as well. And I feel like, do you have like a brother or cousin in the spirit world, like a dude? That's okay. It's fair. Just know, and you guys, this is all live stream, so it will probably be up somewhere on whatever on Facebook. So so that way you can remember it if it comes up again. But there's some younger guys too, but your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa over here, like they're all coming to support you because you're having a hard time. So is that true? Like it's just a rough time. So I want to let you know that you also get like signs from them that feel like it's like disturbances in your house, but I also feel like your mom's touching your shoulder. So there might be times where you feel like someone's touching you that isn't there. Does that resonate with you? You can say no, it's not. Sometimes. Well, it wouldn't be all the time, but it is sometimes. But it's your mom, your dad, your grandma. So I just want to tell you that they love you. And they're also telling me that you weren't expecting to be here today, or like you like were coming and then you couldn't, and then you, I don't know. But I'm glad you came because they've been waiting to talk to you. And they've been waiting to talk to you to tell you that I don't know, like things will get better. That's what I want to say. But I feel like your mom is hugging you. So is your grandma. So is your dad. So I'll just leave it right there. And give you lots of love. But I know it's a lot to take in, but they really wanted to talk to you and let you know they were okay. And it started off with a weird one. And my friend Anthony always says everybody comes with an A and B list. Sometimes your B list comes before your A list. So your grandma, your mom are your A list. Your dad is your B list. But he had to come to introduce everybody else. So just know that. And keep talking to your mother. She says you talk out loud to her. And you have kids too? Yeah. You talk about your kids and then you talk out loud to her. But I think you have a kid that talks to her. So it's like a little one. So I feel like she says she talks to your kids. So I just want to let you know, keep talking to her. She's not going anywhere and she likes being a grandma. So your kids have a great guardian angel. I feel like your mom would street fight someone. So just know that. Yeah. Yeah. He is here. Yeah, he's here with your mom because of whatever they have in common. They have aside from but it's like he died of unnatural causes very suddenly. Your mom had some health issues. Although I don't know that's how she died, but I feel like she had health issues before she died. And then, yeah, so that kid, or he's your cousin, I guess he's not a kid. But I feel like he has living parents still around, connected to him, that is connected to you. And he just has this kind of message of I'm okay. He wanted to tell you that as well. Your world, even if it's murdered, you guys just know that like someone's murdered, killed, whatever. Like there's a million different ways people die. They're good. There's no suffering. There's none of that in the spirit world. And so know that he didn't suffer before and he's not suffering now, but they do kind of influence and inspire us here in the living world. So he may influence or inspire things to help get some kind of justice for him. But also something about your mom too. So I don't know what that is. But it's like that's how he's talking about this. So he's fine though, and I just feel like that's kind of the message he's trying to convey. So that's your cousin then. Because I was like, it's like a brother or a cousin. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you weren't related because he acts like he's your brother. So you must have been close, really close to him. So lots of love from him. Snow is okay as well. It's just funny. I thought I was done, and then There's more information. So just know that and know it's all recorded, like just in case your mom ever or his mom ever wanted to, know that he's okay, that it will be on the Facebook recording. Probably about what time is it? It was like I started 10:40, so it's probably at like around 10:50 a.m. that you'll see it. But thank you and thank you for coming. And I'm glad you made it. Apparently, people really close to you that stay below. So I just want to let you know that. I feel like I have somebody's sister who had cancer. I feel like she's a sister. I feel like I'm on this side, and I feel like she had a cancer that progressed rapidly twice. And the second time, the first time she was fine. The second time it metastasized very quickly. I think this is a kind of cancer that happens in the lower part of your body. I don't think it's like breast cancer or lung cancer. It's something different. It might be like ovarian cancer or colon cancer or something down here is my sense. But whatever it was rapid. The end was rapid. I feel like I'm with somebody's sister. So what about over here? Does somebody have a sister that died of cancer on this side? Right here. Oh, died of cancer. Died of twice. Did she feel like your sister? You talk a lot. Because she's not an older woman. I don't think it's right here. So she's like your best friend. To me, she calls herself your sister. And she talks a lot. She says you constantly remind us of her everywhere you go. And she's just telling me that you're not crazy. That's her you. Because like you'll tell stories about her and then something will happen. But she said that at the end of her life, that final part just went fast. Is what she's saying. But she did treatments and stuff like that. But it just you don't have a father in this real world as well. He interrupted her. He's like, don't forget to talk to me. And did he have like something up here with him, like in his chest? Like was there reading issue for him? Okay, then I'm just wrong about that. He just coming here to part. So he must. Wait a minute, let me get back to your question. Take a minute, Mr. Your dad is love. I just interrupted my friend. I feel like your sister or best friend. She tells me that she has kids. Is that true? Like, and did you like check on everyone for a while, or did you like check on her partner and her kids and stuff? And now you're good. Does that make sense? And she said, but she wanted to say thank you for what you did do when you could, when they let you. But times have changed, is what she said. But you have like some article of clothing that's hers. It would be for a long time, whatever it is. Like, did you borrow something? I don't know why she got some of her clothes. So maybe you borrowed her clothes sometime. But maybe you guys were able to share. I haven't had friends. But now I do. But I feel like though she said the goodbye part was also really difficult. So I don't feel like you got the kind of closure you might have wanted, just because it happened really fast. Does that make sense? Okay. And so she said though she's been around you ever since. So has it been like 5 years or is it longer? Okay, it's like 5. She says like 5 years, but she has been stalking you with love the whole entire time, and she doesn't care that you didn't say goodbye that way. She wants to do it like that anyway. But she was also unconscious, I think. So she wasn't really herself anyway, but she's coming to say hello to you. You have kids as well, right? And so and it's, you have a kid okay, okay, it's fine. I'm not sick, right? I'm not. it seems like she's talking about some kind of wedding that she's seen in the last 5 years. That seems to be she has her kids or it's connected to you somehow. But it's like someone getting remarried a second time. I'm gonna leave that with you. Someone really important to her. That she's talking about. It might make sense to you later. It might not. I might be crazy. But she keeps showing me a wedding, but it's already happened. So it's past tense. So it's maybe it's one of her kids. I have no idea. But anyway, she's coming because it's like almost like she's celebrating something or celebrating something new. So whatever that is, that might be with her kids or with her other family or maybe whoever she was with got remarried. I have no idea. So she though seems really intense in wanting to talk to you and let you know that because sometimes you just really miss her. And she, like, you miss her for some of the things that you talk to her about or what's going on in your life right now. But she says you talk out loud to her, so she hears you and she knows everything that's happening. I just don't know that you talk out loud to her all the time. I think that was like a couple of times after she passed, because it doesn't seem like you still do it. Seems like you just think about her. So I want to let you know she's communicating with you and she loves you. Your dad is here. Push her out of the way because she wants to keep talking, but there's not a lot of substance in what she's saying. But your dad seems straight to the point. He's like, no, I'm the dad. And but your dad, he shows me health issues. I know you said it wasn't here, but I know he was sick before he died. But he keeps touching my heart, so I feel like he's touching hers as well, or like trying to come through to you. But was there also an issue with saying goodbye with him as well? Or kind of? Not really. You said no, not really. You didn't say goodbye. It's just he seems that you're not his only kid, right? He's got other kids that are alive, and I also think he's a grandfather, but that was established for particular kids, but I feel like his siblings have kids as well. And so he is like Mr. Grandpa of the Year when he's coming through. I don't know about Father of the Year. I want to say Grandpa of the Year. But he's coming through because your mom's still here. Hey, was your mom alive when he died? Okay. So he's talking about your mom. It's kind of like whatever happened over there. So he's talking about your mother, but he must have died first. Is that true? Because he's like, your dad, like, guess who's here? Your best friend knows your mom too, right? Right. And your mom, did she lose a lot of weight before she passed away or something? Like she was frail. Like she's back. Like she says that it was hard to watch that because she just kind of withered away with an illness or something. But I think you helped her a lot. You were a sister or something like that. So were you around your mom a lot or like helping her with her? Your mom doesn't really want to admit she wasn't well. So it's like, but she's just declining and losing weight, like not thriving. She said you had an eye on her. You were always kind of like watching her. And your mom says there's a lot of things she used to do with you that you do with your kids at a holiday kind of thing. So it's like that must be coming up, obviously. But your mom's saying that she's with you through all these experiences that you're going to have this holiday season because she says that it's like a stressful or something like that. So it's like she'll be around for all of that. And so all the other dead people. You know, your dad or whatever. But I feel like there's this thing that your mom is saying because you took good care of her and did the best you can. And now she doesn't look frail at all. Now she looks like she's a runner or something. So it's like she doesn't look frail anymore, and she wants to say that to you. And she also wants to tell you that she wasn't suffering before she died. And she just thinks that that was the worst way to lose weight because it didn't happen before. It only happened because of this. And that's your mom's like has like that kind of sense of humor or something. Like it's kind of like a dry, witty sense of humor with her, but she's talking about like losing weight, but why did it have to be that way? Why couldn't I just lose it earlier or something? So I feel like though your mom is very happy. But so is your dad. Your dad had to be first. He doesn't even say that much. He's just there. Like I'm the dad, and then your mom comes. So I just want to let you know that your dad, mom, your best friend are all together in the spirit world movies. Watch it over. You have probably like 10 other people which I'm not gonna get to, but we got a lot of dead people. So, that's what's happening right now. So I just want to tell you that, give you lots of love from them, and thank you for coming. Okay, moving on to yet another one. I want to try to get as many as I can. What is this? This is somebody's daughter, son? I think this is somebody's son, but I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. Or he was gay. He wears his heart on his sleeve, or he's gay, because he has feminine energy. And he dies like very unexpectedly. Actually, I think he overdosed. And it was two types of drugs mixed together. But he wears his heart outside of him. And I think his mom's still alive. But he has this kind of, I wear my heart on my sleeve kind of energy. I think he had addiction issues as well. Because it's an overdose, but it's, maybe he had overdosed more than once in his life, but was able to be saved some other time, but not this time. But I feel like his mom's still here. He has siblings that are still here. I think it's somebody's son. So what are we doing here? Does anybody over here have a son in the spirit world that died of an overdose who wore his heart on his sleeve? On this side. Your son? Did he die of an overdose? You also have a father in the spirit world as well? Yes. And did he wear his heart on his sleeve? Your son? Yes. Because I feel like I wear my heart outside of myself with your son. And that seems to be something he's talking about, because that must have been hard for you because you couldn't. I think he had like some mental health stuff. So I feel like he was, I don't know if he had depression or anxiety or something, but he had that kind of stuff going on. And he's also like, there's a lot of stuff around the overdose, and he may have done that before. Does that make sense? Had he gotten close before or had a close call that you know of? If not, that's fine. So, but you know this isn't intentional, right? Right. Like this is not intentional. He's just being really clear about that for you, but for anyone else, he's like, that's off the table. I made a mistake. He does seem to act impulsively, so he seems pretty young to me. And I feel like that impulsivity happened in other areas of his life. Your dad's there with him, so your dad's got his arm around him, just so that you know he's like in good hands. But it's not just him. Is your mom also in the spirit world as well? Because your mom is also with him. And the thing is, did he die before one of his grandparents? So no, if not. No. Okay. So there's somebody else over there with him as well, who I'll get to here in a second. But like you have an uncle over there or something. There's like a couple of different people coming through, but everybody's around your son. Because have I ever read you before? No. Okay. And so everybody's around your son, and it's almost like they're coming just to kind of cushion the blow, just to kind of cushion him. But your mom's here, and your mom, you know, she would be with him. Like that is all there is to that. That's how your mom is. You would know that she would be scooping him up and taking care of him. But I think your son also has a couple of friends over there in the spirit world. So he's got like some dead buddies that he seems to be hanging out with over there. So he's got that while he's being supervised by your mom, which he says he doesn't need, but whatever. I really feel like though your mom wants to give you the peace of mind to let you know that he's okay. And do you have a kid, like another kid? Okay, so he's your only son then. So is there then somebody else left behind that feels like one of your kids or a grandkid or something like that? There's someone left behind connected to him that he's talking about. So is that his son? Or but does he have one other stepdaughter? Okay, son and a stepdaughter. So but the son is his or biologically his and the other one. Okay. And so he's telling me though that he leaves people behind that really love him and still love him still. And he just made a mistake, a stupid mistake. But he says, again, it's not his first stupid mistake. And so he's saying though that he loves you, and you have felt him around you, like literally felt him touch you, touch your hair, just touch your arm, touch you. So he does that. He also talks about like, he had this kind of music that I don't think you listen to, but sometimes you hear songs from that.
Yeah.
So like, if you listen to country music and he listened to rap, I don't know that you would be picking up a rap CD and listen to it. CD stuff, just download it now. I'm not trying to age myself, but that is kind of what this feels like. Is he hear music he liked that you're not playing, and then it just keeps showing up. And he said every time it reminds you of him. And so he's there. Your mom's there. She says, "Don't worry, we've got him." I think he also has one of his other grandparents over there as well. So he's got like I think his grandpa on his dad's side over there. And but is his grandma on his mom's side still here?
No.
Okay. Did she die after him?
No.
Okay. I think somebody's over there that feels like a grandparent or a parent that died after him. Obviously, you're here. So would his father still be living?
No, his father.
His father's passed. Okay. And that might be the other guy that he's with. Because I'm like, there's somebody else here. So he's saying hello to you. He's got the other people with him. But I just want to let you know, he says he visits you quite a bit. You asked him to come today when you were on your way here. And he said he heard you talking in the car. And so he says, I hear everything wrong. I know. And he acts like he knows everything too. So there's that. So he's got that little know-it-all little bit of him, but a very like loving, gentle, affectionate feeling toward his mama. So I just want to let you know that, and let you know that he heard you this morning when we were talking to him. So what time is it? Is it time for me to shut up? My daughter, yeah. It's time for me to shut up. So what time is it? 11:10. 11:10. I'm supposed to do something at 11:15, right? Talking, more talking. Okay. She's got to keep me on track.
If anybody signed up for the show at 11 or 11:10, the readers are available. We do have readers open for that.
Oh yeah. So if you have 11, 11:10, I'm gonna start my other talk now, but then I will do more dead people talking later. But I am here to answer questions. So sometimes your questions are, and this is about like Halloween, ghosts, spirits. You're welcome to ask me about mediumship as well. I will be doing more of this demonstration later on. Make sure you get your raffle tickets so you can enter for the pre-reading. There's a couple of pre-readings and a couple of house buzzing things. But I want to know if you guys have any questions about mediumship, Halloween, any of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do like a little half-hour Q&A with that. But you can ask about your own loved ones or how mediumship works and stuff like that, because we're in that Halloween season. And I used to do like, I don't know, I think some of you like possibly have been when I used to go through the bus tours. There was a guy before 2020. I used to do, it was called Spirit in Spirit. You go, you get a drink, go look at haunted shit. So I believed in ghosts and all that stuff. And I thought, oh, this is so fun, blah, blah, blah. But now I don't believe in ghosts anymore because I've had different experiences. And so then I used to change the tour. So I'd be like, hi, here's your drink. And we're going to talk to spirits. They're just going to be your people. And so we used to walk around the cemetery at night at Riverside because they have a tour over there. So we'd take everybody on the tour. It was like late at night. We'd walk around the cemetery and we're like, are you scared? I'm like, no, there's no dead people here. Why would they hang out at the cemetery? Boring. Yeah, right? So, and he said, so just so you guys know for future reference, if you're like, oh my God, I never get to go to the cemetery to see my mom's grave. She gets in the car with you, drives with you, stands there while you're talking to her, gets back in the car, and she goes home with you. So don't think you have to go to the cemetery. Just so you know that. And so we used to like bounce around the cemetery over there it was kind of fun, but just so you know, if you ever go to Riverside, 60% of the graves are empty. They don't have bodies in it because spooky story, but it's not really, it's not, it's just people and the way people are. So back when Denver was growing, where Cheeseman Park is right now, it used to be the city cemetery. And so a lot of people say Cheeseman Park is haunted, blah, blah, blah. I don't, again, why would I go hang out with my body 150 years after with nobody visiting me and nothing? So it doesn't, people are like, oh, it's so scary. And I'm like, it's not that scary. It's Cheeseman Park. It's not. It's right next to the Botanic Gardens. It's lovely. And so anyway, so we would do this tour, and the bodies that were in the cemetery were in Cheeseman Park back in the day when the city got bigger. So the city paid a couple of bucks or like $1.75 to dig up the body and move it over to Riverside. Well, a lot of people just dug up the body, took all the jewelry, took the coffin, left the body, went on their way, got their $1.75, and that was kind of how that went. So a lot of the graves there have headstones, but they don't have a body underneath. So interesting fact. But they also do tours there. If you guys ever, I think they still do them, where you can traipse around the cemetery at night and get like the spooky story of everything. But people used to be with me and they're like, aren't you scared? And I'm like, no, why would dead people come hang out at their body? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it wasn't scary. And that was kind of when I started changing my view about those stuff like that, is when I used to do those tours. And I used to bless houses with spirits and stuff. And I ended up just teaching people how to bless their house. So, because there weren't really always ghosts or spirits like that there, but there is such thing as negative energy. And if any of you guys, I use this example all the time because I think this is the easiest example of energy. If you've ever been to someone's house or been somewhere where you know they were in an argument right before you got there, you feel the tension in the air, but they're not saying anything. That's the energy that causes all kinds of disturbances. And that energy is the energy you want to clear away from your space. And so you can do easy things like open doors and windows to kind of like get things flowing. But that's the kind of energy that people feel. And then sometimes they get scared and then they build on it. And since it's Halloween, I know you guys haven't asked me this, but I'm just telling you. I don't know why, but I do know why. It's because it's a Halloween talk. Okay, so we have, you guys, I'm really bad at ADHD. It's serious. So it's hard. Sometimes I bounce all around, so please know that about me. So anyway, but the Stanley Hotel, you know, it's like haunted and whatever, and they do like spooky ghost tours. Well, I went on a spooky ghost tour there. I wasn't scared at all. And this is my theory about that place. And this is how places become haunted, or what people call haunted. It's just my theory, okay? I have a lot of theories. But it's built on quartz, and quartz is a memory stone. So if you, it like records things, and it's in your watches and stuff. It's like a stone that holds that kind of energy. And the whole entire underneath the Stanley Hotel is rose quartz, not rose quartz, clear quartz, because it's up in the mountains. Like you can walk out there and find a piece of quartz on the ground. And so it's a memory thing. So basically, if you're somewhere and say like 100 years ago, there's a lady, she got mad at her husband, slaps, walks out the door, slams the door, right? So 100 years later, someone's in that room with the memory stone and they feel a gush and a door slams. And they're like, oh my God, there's a ghost. And then their fear comes and starts feeding into the energy of their tension that was left behind. And not only that, what also feeds that energy is all the people that go on the ghost tours. They're all like, oh my God, it's so scary and everything like that. That feeds that energy and helps it grow too. So like the Stanley Hotel, a lot of things people are like, oh my God, this is this. It's still most of the set from Stephen King's version of it that came out 15 years after. The one thing that was filmed there, the one thing they had to picture was the Otis elevator, but all the rest of that movie, they took pictures of it, but most of it was filmed in a sound studio in England. And so Stephen King, after 15 years, decided he wanted his book back, and so he made his own little mini series of The Stand. So if you go into the Stanley Hotel, the molding and the way the rooms are set up and everything, it's still from the movie. So, but people go there and they get all scared. Even Stephen King is like, yeah, I was there, I was trapped there for a weekend and I wrote a book. So that's, you know, like, doesn't necessarily mean it's haunted. And there's there's the Patterson Inn downtown, which is another place we used to go to that they say is extremely haunted. There was all these ghost shows that went there. Somebody said, oh, there's a body in the basement. And so they finally dug up the basement. All they found was a bunch of sand, but that was kind of out of place. It's all kinds of crazy stories about the Patterson Inn and they're dealing with it. That they had guard dogs there, and the guard dogs jumped out the window and died, which is true. But they were like, oh, the ghost made them jump out the window. They had the dogs there because people were coming in at night and stealing tools. So there's all this like negative energy that's been fed into that one particular building. So when you go there, it feels good. But it doesn't feel that way to everybody. But as a psychic, it feels like, I can feel everybody's crap there. So that's just another place where that energy of fear has been fed, and so it has that icky kind of feeling to it whenever I go there and tune into it. So I don't necessarily believe in ghosts anymore because all the dead people I talk to are good. Like nobody's got any problems, they don't have bills paid, diets to go on, they're good. And so they're all, like they're in a good place. Your loved ones are in a good place. They're in heaven, we're in hell. So that is, it's true though, if you think about it, because it's all nice and niceness for them. They don't have to have human emotions to deal with any of that crap. So it's a beautiful place. So just know your loved ones, regardless of how they died, because I know there was someone who had murdered earlier, regardless of how they died, they all kind of this place where they lose their body, they lose their emotions, they lose all of that. But when I connect with them, they're just like they can connect with you the same way. They connect to my humanness. And that means they'll connect to your humanness. But like when they say sorry for something, sometimes they gotta say sorry for some shit. So it's good I went to therapy because sometimes I went to school to be a therapist because sometimes readings feel like family counseling between the living and the dead. And so when they come through and they say they're sorry, it's not that they are thinking, oh my God, I'm ashamed in the spirit world. It's just that they're touching on my human. So I can express to you that there's an apology there. Yes.
I have a quick question for you about mediumship. So I'm trying to frame this in a way where it's not a long story. So I'm curious. I'm not a psychic medium or anything like that, but I've seen you a couple of times. By the way, you are amazing. I'm wondering, and I say this because I've introduced a really good friend of mine. I'm wearing her son's bracelet. He was killed in a car accident, and I brought my friend Tammy and her husband Gino separate times to see you. And they just asked me to come with them. The weird part is that I was not friends with them before her son passed away. He just happened to go to school with my son. I'm curious. This is where I'm trying to understand. Why am I? She and I are both trying to figure this out. I brought dinner to her house just to give her dinner, and I told my friend that invited me to do that. I don't want to see her. I can't do that. I take everything in. Why am I? Is there something in the medium world that makes us connected? Because we are really close now, but I didn't know her before. Does that make sense?
It does. And what I would say to that is that your souls are old friends. You've been together before at some other time. So you have that heart-to-heart connection with her. And I'm sure that her son is most likely inspiring things. Because if I was going to tell you where your dead people are, they're in an aha moment. They're in inspiration. That's where they are. And so her son may have inspired the connection as well. I've connected with so many people where I'm just like, oh my God, I feel like I know you. And so even if I don't know them at all. And so that's just like a reminder that we're all connected. Like we've all been together before somehow, some way. Even you guys and me. Even though I don't even know you guys that well. Well, some of you apparently, I know all kinds of things about you, even though I don't remember. But it's like sometimes you just meet people and you feel that instant connection. And so that's, yeah.
So one more thing about that. When I brought her to see you, she called me about an hour later and said that was the spells after meeting with you since her son has.
Oh, I'm glad. That's why I do it. Because I got a reading once that before I started doing this, because I didn't believe this stuff, I got a reading on the radio. And she told me all kinds of things, especially a very important thing, that my son was born after he died, after him. Because his son was born 10 days after he died. So, and then I got that reading probably around this time 20 years ago. So that is, thank you for sharing that. But it's all like, that's my whole thing, you guys, is that I want to give people the kind of release that I felt And then all the other stuff really just kind of comes from my like therapy background and kind of stuff from school and everything as well. But I'm glad that it made a difference. That makes me happy. Thank you for telling me that. So, okay. And did somebody have a question over there? Yeah. Oh, hi.
Is there a spirit world for animals? Is that varies from?
I don't. I think animals are with loved ones, so that's kind of where they are. Because people, sometimes I can talk to everybody's dead people, and they're like dry eye. The minute I bring through their dog, sobbing. Because they're like our true example of unconditional love on animals, right? Like your mom isn't necessarily always the most unconditional love if you have mom issues or dad issues. So it just kind of depends. But dogs are happy. Demons and fairies, I don't know what I think about that. I kind of like the fairy kind of energy, the idea of it, but I've never seen that. I have seen some weird shit though. I will say that. I have this weird little picture of like I was in New York and I just decided to go on this little walk, which my daughter, I took her with it again like 10 years later. She's like, "What's wrong with you? Why would you go down this road alone?" And I'm just like, "Oh, but it was fun and I saw a little gnome." So I have a weird little picture. I have a picture. I didn't see it. I took it with my camera, and then on my camera, it's in there. It's got like a little hat. It looks like it's walking to go to work or something. So that's the closest experience I've ever had with that. And as far as demons and stuff like that go, I also don't know how I feel about that. But I would say I just kind of feel like that's energy. But animals are with your people. Animals are souls. So like when I talk to dead people and stuff, I also talk to animals because it's all just soul to soul communication. Because I can even connect with living animals. Yeah.
Are there other mental schools that are not like schools?
You know what? That's a good question. And possibly, like, we're on this planet. Like, people always like when you do like past life kind of stuff. They always talk about like, oh, you were on Earth. You were this person. You were that person. But I don't know if you guys have been watching the James Webb Space Telescope. But we are in a multiverse that is like, there's so much cool shit out there. Why would you always want to come back here? So I just think that that's kind of like our human understanding. And so that, with that being said, I think that there's probably many souls in the universe, multiverse or whatever. I don't know those souls, but I would think that there would be. I don't think that they just inhabit this particular planet. So that's what I would say to that. That's a good question. I never even thought about that. Yeah, maybe there's souls. There are. Like that kind of goes with logic. That's logically. So, because not everybody who's died is back here. So they haven't all come back. And so, yeah, so there probably is. Good question. I like that question. Thank you. Makes me think a little. Yes, my darling. Yeah. I think sometimes it's one or the other. The weird thing is like the circle, like there's one that comes from the reflection of the camera. And sometimes that's green or yellow. But usually the other color ones, and they look weird. So when it's an orb with a loved one or something, sometimes it has a tail or it looks slightly different. It doesn't look as defined as like a dot of light. But they do visit like that. They do. I have seen pictures like that. I have a video of me doing that tour on that I was in the Brown Palace. That was another place we used to go. And I have a video of me from behind just talking, telling him the story of something. And these three lights just go right through me. And that I felt like was spirit energy. But sometimes just the green or yellow dot is sometimes a reflection from your camera. So sometimes it takes a little investigating and you have to debunk your own theory. But, it is what it is. So they do show up in some pictures. I also have this really cool picture of like, it's on my Facebook, whatever. When we used to do the ghost tours at night, it's so cool because like it was a full moon and there was a headstone and I just decided to take a picture of it and it looks like it has a rainbow going into it and it's the middle of the night. So there was no like real light reflection. That was real. But I also have pictures with little dots in them because I take them out in the sunshine. So hopefully that answers your question. So you're welcome. Yes. Yeah.
What's your aspect on religion?
Well, I've never had somebody come to me in a reading and say I met Jesus.
Yeah.
So nobody's like, God was here. Everybody's like, oh, I reunited with this person and that person and whatever. I am not a religious person. I'm not. I think it's a restriction on faith, on how we believe. There is a religion called, it's spiritualism. It actually is a religion where people like talk to dead people, like that's kind of part of their kind of thing. But, yeah, it did. And so, late 1800s.
Alan Kardec.
With the spiritualism. Yes. Yes. See, look at these experts. And so they're, because I didn't know, I can't even remember my own date of birth. Let alone that. But I think that there is a space for religion for people that need that kind of structure, because sometimes people need a structure to put their faith in or a little box to put it in. I'm just too curious for that. So I think that there is like some common denominators in religion about being kind to each other and loving each other, and I think that's really important. But the rest of it, I'm not a big religious believer. Sometimes I say the Bible is the best-selling book of all time, the best-selling fiction book of all time, because it just doesn't resonate with me. I've read it. I've read different texts from different religions, and so it doesn't resonate with me. However, people will bring that up in a reading. Like somebody's mom will come and say, I was Catholic. And then she'll say, you have my rosary. And so it's like that kind of connection that is made. So I think religion helps people. I'm just not a believer. So some people just need that. I see him. Hold on. Wasn't somebody over here? No. Hi. Hi. I know her too. Okay. Yes. Question?
Oh, good question. So you mentioned about past life.
I have a conflict. She asked if I believe in past lives. I do believe in past lives and future lives, but I also, so you guys, I think a lot, all right? I'm just telling you, this is yet another theory of mine. But if all time is happening at once, like quantum physics says, then are we fragmented and somewhere else? Or are we all here? Because I am not sure about that. So are our lives in the past tense? Is it that what we're tuning into is a different space and time of ourself, like a different facet of us? It leads to so many questions when you like start, yeah.
But it makes sense as the time is an illusion, right?
Yes.
To be both.
Yeah.
How to make sense of
How to make sense of both of them, putting it together. Exactly. I feel exactly the same way. I don't know how to put them together, like what that looks like. And then sometimes I think like maybe we're not meant to. Like maybe we're not meant to really kind of get it all figured out in our lifetimes or in anybody's lifetime. We're just here for the journey of your experience. When I do past life readings and connect with people in past lives, I tend to bring through whatever they experienced in that life that they struggled with. Actually, I can tell you a story. I did a reading for someone the other day, and it was a lady, and I brought through her grandma, and the grandma and her were like best friends. And she was like, I feel like I've known her forever, like we've had a past life together. Well, I tuned into it, and they were hookers. One would stay home and watch the kids, while the other one would go out and work, and then vice versa, and they died of like some STD. But it was an interesting life. But the thing about it is that her and her grandma always had each other's back when she was alive in this life and in that life. So that kind of thread carried on, so that she was able to connect with her grandma, and her grandma was able to share that information and share with her, we've always been together, we'll be together again. So however it works, I don't know, like dead people kind of have their own little way of communicating to me about that kind of stuff. But for us, I think we've had different experiences, whether they're happening now or happening in the past, where we've had to learn and grow from those experiences. So whether it's past life, whether it's a fragment of us, I don't know. But I think that the beauty of this kind of stuff is that you don't know. you get to experiment, you get to be curious, you get to try to figure it out your own way.
Then this is to another question, like the dead people that you saw today, right?
Mhm.
And then these people, if you do believe in past life, so reincarnation actually exists, right?
I
And
think
then
so.
how these people, like, for example, you read for one people, and then every time you can tune into that people like died 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? How, why
what-
that people is not reincarnated, right? That
Yeah.
people is there for 20 years.
Or 100 years, or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever time
exactly.
doesn't exist. How many of you guys have seen that movie Interstellar? Like it had Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
and Anne Hathaway, whatever. So yeah, in that movie, they like go to a planet and they're on the planet for 45 minutes. And you hear this ticking in the movie. And every tick you hear, which is like a second there or something, it's a day of human life, is the equivalent of that little tick. So they get back to the ship after only being on this planet for 45 minutes. And the guy that was waiting for them had aged. And he ate all the food because he's been up there like 6 years at that point, and they were only there for like 45 minutes. So time may work in different ways and different